What's up, shitheads? It's Ryan and Travis back with another episode of Dudes Talking Shit. This is episode number 28. You gonna say anything?
Oh, I thought you were gonna do the noise.
No. No, I was just trying to turn off that other thing. I could still hear it. Travis, I got a question for you.
Yeah, let's do it.
You had any exciting shits this week? Because boy, let me fucking tell you, I'm woo.
Paint me a word picture.
All right. I don't know where it came from or why this happened.
Yeah.
But nothing felt abnormal. Nothing felt weird. Decided to go take a shit. And it just felt everything was normal.
Okay.
Didn't feel like it was stretching or painful or sore or like messy or fucking peanut buttery. Normal.
Yeah.
But
I just want you to know, I need you to stop describing shits as peanut buttery because you're fucking ruining it for me.
Oh, peanut butter is I still fucking love peanut butter.
Yeah, dude, you're fucking it up for me. But
Yeah.
continue. Go ahead.
Oh man,
Tell me about this
I still love
bowel
peanut
movement.
butter. I don't know what I ate, what combination of food that made this happen. Although I did eat Five Guys 5 of 7 days last week, so it might have been some of that.
Why were you eating that much Five Guys?
Oh, me and a buddy at work decided to do it 4 days in a row. He did it 5 days in a row because he had one on Sunday as well.
Yeah.
And then we skipped a day and then had it again, and it was good food. We had it again once this week too.
That is fucking ridiculous.
Fucking love Five Guys, buddy. The cheeseburger.
It is good. But wait, you haven't told me about this expressive, beautiful shit.
Oh, so dude, I don't know what combination of food it was that like caused this monstrosity.
Yeah.
But I acknowledged nothing was out of place. Like I had suddenly the urge came on pretty quick. Like, oh, I had to shit pretty fast. Like I was at home and everything. It was first thing in the morning too.
Sure.
Like first thing in the fucking morning. So I take this shit and then like I acknowledge that my gut's just like, ooh, like the skin wasn't like pulled like a snare drum anymore around my belly button area. You know, it was like kind of soft. It was like, holy fuck, that was like I'm out of breath from that. I was like,
good.
ooh, but it felt good. I stand up and of course,
take a look.
You go to fucking take a look at it, right? And because I use a bidet, there's a lot less material in the toilet bowl to look at. It's just shit and piss, you know?
Yeah.
I can see my whole work of art here.
Yeah.
And this thing must have been 3 inches wide by no less than 9 inches long.
Holy mother of God.
This was a tall can and a half, all right? It was fucking ridiculous. And I'm thinking, how the fuck did that just happen? And it was all in one solid piece. But it didn't look like, you know when you look at a good shit log, how they're kind of like crackly and like they look like they could like fall apart with one flick?
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. This had no little cracks and creases and lines and veins or anything.
No way.
It wasn't bloody. Nothing was weird. It was just this massive thing. I actually said to myself, what's going to happen here? Because how are you going to flush this down the toilet? And how much is this going to paint the walls on the toilet here?
We're going to have to get out the scrub brush.
Right. So anyway, when I fucking hit the flush button, you hear that whoosh, just like normal. But over top of the sounds of that and my giggles, you could hear the shit bouncing up against the walls of the toilet. bro, I think it was hollow or something because I don't think it was a solid mass. Like it had an air pocket in it because it was fucking up, like swirling around, bouncing off the walls like a fucking sumo wrestler going. I couldn't believe it, man. I never thought something like this in my life, but I couldn't fucking believe it. I gotta tell everyone about this.
There is nothing quite as good as like standing up and looking back at your shit and it like goes down the hole. Do you know what I mean?
Especially
and
if
it's
it
like
swirls
still got
around.
a little bit of a Nessie.
Yeah, it's like waving goodbye, like fucking Pearl Jam or whatever. I see you waving, or something. You know, is that whatever that song is? You know what song I'm trying to say?
No,
that's a song anyway.
Man, that's amazing. You know what? I always feel so happy for people when they have like a strong shit. Interesting question. Do you prefer to shit at work or at home?
I'll do it anytime. Although,
but what's your preference? If you're sitting down
at
for
home
like
because
a
I
big
have
shit.
a bidet.
Okay. Yeah, I figured
Which
that
is
was the
fucking weird because I started thinking about it too because I was absolutely like when I was replaying the shit bumping off the toilet walls and everything.
Yeah.
In my mind, it was like fucking. You know the bumpers at the bottom of like a ping pong table or like that noise? That's the sound it made. It just didn't have like the ding too. Like you know the ding, the ding. It didn't do like that. It was just thump, thump. Anyway, I started thinking about it and the bidet and how the fact that there was no blood in that shit because like it was way bigger than my booty hole is. I'll tell you fucking that.
Yeah.
I started thinking about maybe the bidet like solves problems a little bit. So like if you have you ever been to a horse race track?
No.
So at a horse race track, there's always a pond right beside it, like a very like a man-made little pond, because horses have this instinct that when like if they're hurt, they run and jump in water because it heals them. That's just built into their fucking
No way.
into their brain. So that's why there's always one beside racetracks or like if an animal is hurt out in the wild, they want to run towards water because they feel like laying in the water heals them. Like it's just how like animals are built.
Yeah, makes
Think
sense.
about if you grab like the fucking something hot out of the oven or whatever. You want to run some water over your fingers, right?
Of course, immediately.
Exactly. So like it's just it's built into our mentality and it does help.
Yeah.
So like you cut yourself fucking slicing tomatoes or something. You want to run your finger under water and all that shit, right? Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if like this shit was so brutal that I did spray my arse off. I'm wondering if that got rid of any pain that was happening because I sometimes like to give like mid-game sprays.
Yeah.
And I don't have the
like
memory.
a lubricant.
Yeah, I don't have any memory of me doing it that time.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I didn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I did. So I just don't know. But
dude, the asshole is an incredible thing, you know. Especially
there's a lot of nerve endings there.
Wake up first thing in the morning, right? You just had a great sleep. You're feeling great. You're feeling good. You're feeling relaxed. You go and hit the toilet. And man, that little brown man just swooshes right on out of there. Like it feels good, you know? He's just passing through your body, going on out your booty hole. Like you're calm, you're relaxed, you're feeling good about the poop. You know it's probably going to be a fucking dinger.
Oh yeah,
it's exciting. You're going to look back on a proud.
Speaking of being a dinger, this thing was a whole fucking shoeless Joe baseball bat, man.
Fuck yeah,
swear
dude.
to God.
Man, I think that's what it is. You know, your brain just went into it. You got relaxed and you fucking bear down and took it. Like it's good.
It was fucked up. It was really fucked up. Did you know that we have just above our butt cracks, we have like a fucking sinus cavity or something like that there?
A sinus cavity?
Or some sort of something. We have some sort of thing there.
A prostate?
No, well, you get that too, but there's some other thing that, fuck. Detail guy at work was telling me about it the other day, and I feel like he just learned about it because he's...
Why the detail guy's talking about your booty hole?
Oh, we talk about a lot of shit at work.
Just a few more dudes talking shit.
Exactly. It's just the fucking unrecorded version. No, there's some sort of thing there. I don't know if it'll make you sneeze or whatever, but there's some sort of thing. Anyway, I guess I don't know the rest of that information.
That could be interesting future research. Do you know what I was thinking about would be a good guest for us on the podcast actually in the future?
Who?
Someone who works, so I have this favorite, we've talked about it before, but this favorite sex shop downtown called Venus.
Yep.
Because they do funny dildo videos, and I send them to you constantly. And, I think they're fucking great.
Have someone from there.
I would love to have someone from there on the podcast, talk to them. Because, let's be real.
I think we talked about this before on here before, too.
Have we talked
about how cool it would be to have someone on there and weird experiences they've had with some, like, awkward encounters with clients and stuff?
And not only that, like... You know, I feel like we play into it. You know, this is dudes talking shit. Yeah. There's a lot of bullshit said here. It's not always factual. We're idiots. It would be so funny to have someone come and correct us on all the fucking bullshit we talk.
Yeah, but like I don't think that you can win that argument against me. I'm just such an arsehole.
Just hearing like a professional on sex. And then you just being like, yeah, well, but...
What if we somehow, like, fabricate our level of success with this right now?
Yeah.
And we get Sue.
Dude, if we got Sue Johansson, I don't think I could do that podcast because I feel like it'd be super awkward to have a boner sitting next to you the whole time.
Just from all the memories that you have,
dude,
from childhood.
Sue's just your introduction. Do you remember when she
what
used
if
to
she
take
like
her
used
little
Larry
wooden
Steve?
dolls?
She could use Larry Steve.
Yes!
Larry Steve's our skeleton for anyone that doesn't remember.
Well, we should with this podcast, When we post a clip, we'll also post a picture of Larry Steve, just
Larry
so
Steve.
people know what's up. But yeah, can you imagine if Sue had the fucking wood dolls? I remember when I used to be watching that show. It was on Channel 18 when I was a kid, and
At like 11 o'clock at night. Oh, Newfoundland would
no,
have been
for
like
me
midnight.
it was like fucking 12:30.
Yeah, okay.
And she would be doing the positions with the dolls and like talking about 69 and doggy style and missionary and like going through all these poses to better please your woman. Meanwhile, I'm 12 and I'm just encompassing this great sexual education, which, you know, I've gone on to, I don't think I've pleased a single woman in my life in the bedroom. So Sue's work was all in vain, but I do take those memories fondly.
You know what's fucked up about? So when did that show go off the air? Like, if you could take a guess without, like, I guess we
I'd
could
say
look it
like
up.
2004, 2005.
Somewhere around there, yeah, probably.
Yeah, maybe even a little bit earlier, maybe 03. Because I remember, you know, Sex with Sue was your first introduction to, like, you know, reproduction and sex as pleasure, not just reproduction.
Final episode, 2005. Dude, do you know when
No
the first
way.
episode was on? Do you know how long this show ran?
Ooh, I'm going to say 1993 was the
The
first
first episode was on in 1984.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I'm like 10 years off.
I wouldn't have guessed. I would have actually
Wow.
guessed way.
Is Sue Johannesson still alive or is she dead?
I'm not sure.
I think
I
that's
guess
important to Google.
I'm gonna look it up. I'll have it right here.
Okay.
Presented by Sue Johannesson. Please don't be dead. Please don't be dead. Please don't be dead. Please don't be dead. Please.
She's a legend. Is she Canadian?
She seems to be still alive. She is age 90.
Wow.
Her maiden name is Susan Powell. Born on July 29th, 1930, Toronto, Ontario.
Wow. Canadian icon.
Yeah.
Speaking of Canadian icons, God, Alex Trebek.
Dude, I graduated from the same high school as him.
That's a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
Alex Trebek was a legend. Great man, you know, well-spoken, great with trivia.
He had a cool job because it was like subtly telling people they're dumbasses. And, you know what I mean? Like,
he was so witty and dry with people too.
do you think that the Jeopardy viewership ratings will increase at all without him?
No,
Because of people like, because it's
dude, I don't know if Jeopardy continues without him.
Kelly and Ryan's ratings. I think the viewership went up after Regis died, even though he's been off the show for 10 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Jeopardy moves on without
No,
Regis.
well then again, nobody
or
would have.
without Alex Trebek. Sorry.
Right, nobody would have said Price is Right could move on after Bob.
And Drew
but
Carey's doing a wonderful job.
I think he's absolutely terrible compared to Barker. However, I like watching Price is Right fucking 5 days a week pretty much.
Drew Carey's
I watch it
great.
in the lunchroom every day at work.
Oh, man, that's one thing I'm so excited for. So, me and Drunk Ryan will be working together again.
We're gonna be fucking coworkers, buddy. Oh. Oh, hold on. We'll try this again. Me and Travis are gonna be coworkers again, buddy.
Dude, I'm so excited to eat lunch together and watch Price is
Five
Right
guys,
together
5
again.
times in a week. Let's see if we can
Dude,
do it, buddy.
No, well, you know, we'll go back to our normal. What has always happened is you go get food, I bring my food.
Dude, we may have to bring you into a group chat that happens too. Because there's a big group chat that is a fucking barn burner all day, every day.
Excited to be a part of it.
That is only with coworkers and I, and you'll be a coworker.
I'll be back in the gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? With Sex with Sue, was it called Sunday Sex with Sue?
Sunday night sex show.
And I think what happened, the reason I started tuning out of it when you get into kind of those early teen years is you find Showcase.
Yeah.
You find Red Shoe Diaries.
Yep.
Dude, I remember, like, do you remember watching those shows and you're so focused on seeing some titty that, like, you completely... I would never be able to tell you what a single one of those episodes was about.
There was a show. It wasn't those shows that I was into that often.
Yeah.
You know what shows
Red Shoe Diaries was my favorite.
You know what shows I used to watch to get a titty fix?
What's that?
It was called Wild On. It was like a travel
I
and tourism
this.
sort of show, but it was like
Almost
wasn't
like
about
a Girls Gone Wild type thing.
yeah, but it was about like where you could find parties and fun stuff and like stuff. It was definitely, it would never show you museums. It would show you about like Mardi Gras, New Orleans, or like Caravana, things like that, like wild parties in Ibiza and blah blah blah, stuff like that. It was hosted by like Brooke Burke. She was one of the hosts. Another host that happened earlier.
Oh, I do really remember this actually.
Yeah, man. It was
that name is very familiar.
You'd see foam parties in like Ibiza clubs and girls flashing their titties, and there would be titties every single time that show was on the air, and like hot girls and like G-strings. Which remember back then,
that's a huge deal.
Yeah. There was like girls weren't wearing G-strings at beaches and at parties and stuff.
Man, do you remember like when you were the age that you start trying to watch fucking people fucking? Obviously there was no YouPorn, there was no Pornhub for us.
Sad days.
I know, but do you remember having to like line up fucking clips?
So
like 30-second clips from fucking porn sites,
so that you could let them buffer and load, and then if it wasn't cutting it, then you could keep going without losing the blood flow.
Yeah, you'd have to have like multiple clips ready to go. Oh, dude, that shit was so fucking funny. Kids will never understand that struggle. They'll never fucking get it. These little fucking idiots now, like, they just go pop on YouPorn, Pornhub, all this stuff. You know, actually, I even remember, man, going on this one website. It was called Literotica.
I've heard of this.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a website, but I heard of the concept.
And I used to fucking read stories.
Dude, that's why girls fucking love 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
I would like read like basically porn stories and fucking like, you know, that was your fix.
Fuck, that's weird, man. You read?
Yeah, I know.
Do you know how many books I've read in my life?
The characters were so strong. Like, it was great.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, you can find all kinds of fucking interesting stuff. But yeah, now, but what do you think parents do? Like, how do you block porn from your kids now? Because there's so many
the internet.
websites.
Like, I mean, when your internet subscriber just does that for you. All the computers and stuff do it now.
You can just block porn.
Yeah.
Like, full on.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't know how many people utilize that, because at the end of the day, when like mom's gone to bingo with the ladies or whatever women nights are doing, and the kids are in bed early and dad's home alone, all right, let's find it. You know, it's gonna.
Dude, do you remember?
Actually, hold on a sec. On a real quick side note, I know a guy who has who's married.
Sure.
He has 3 children.
Yeah.
And whenever the missus always puts the kids to bed, like that's kind of her thing. Like,
yeah, that's the routine.
Exactly. So while she's up there doing that, he uses the nanny cam to watch the newborn baby. So he sets up his phone here beside the computer so he can know like how long he has to like jerk off downstairs before she comes back down.
That's fucking hilarious.
I know, because like the baby's only a few months. The baby is only like a few months old.
Yeah.
So he doesn't like. It's not as exciting to fuck with her right now because she's just not as into it. It's confidence issues with body and all that. So he's like, it doesn't happen that often. So he's like, I gotta fucking rub him out. So he sets up the nanny cam to watch his wife tucking his baby in with one eye while he's rubbing one out with the other.
Dude, that's so stealthy.
Oh yeah, that's a great system.
Man, do you remember your first experience with like seeing like any kind of porn or anything? So my first like thing that I ever remember seeing of like a woman naked was so me and my buddy, he ended up actually in jail on fucking murder charges. This guy,
wow.
His parents were actually his dad was a nice man. His mom, I can't even express to you how big of a piece of shit that human is. Like, she ruined this kid's life.
Fuck you guys, mom.
Yeah, like this kid, we would have been like 9 probably at the time. He was my best buddy in the whole world at the time. And very, very promising like diver. Like, could have gone on to a national team, maybe even on to some form of fucking international competition. So when we were like 9, I guess, we put in the fucking internet.
Yeah.
Because at that time, I think there was like Yahoo and Bing and Google, but it wasn't like, we didn't understand how to use it.
Do you know
yet.
Bing? If you want to find good porn, Bing.
Really?
Oh yeah.
But we just put in www.sex.com. And I just remember
What is that website?
At that time, I think it was a sexual health website.
I'm gonna keep telling your story about you and the
so,
murderer.
And fucking, he didn't actually kill anybody. He was just there when it happened. Quite a sad story, actually. But so, anyways, the fucking website pops up, and dude, in the top corner, is that what came up?
Yup.
Just some missus fucking bent over rubbing her puss.
Yep.
So what came up when we fucking put in sex.com?
Look at her. She definitely bleaches her arsehole.
Wait, is it just fucking pictures?
Yeah, and actually they're all GIFs.
At sex.com.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Like, do you know how much the person that runs this now must have paid for that
Domain.
For that domain?
Yeah, I could have swore it was like a sexual health website. Or anyways, whatever it was. All I remember is the first picture was like a fucking lady, buck ass naked, almost in like a semi-squat position with her arms like flexed downwards. And she was full naked and her tits were out and she was very muscular and you could like see her fucking pussy and stuff. She was all shaved up. And dude, I remember we both saw that and we were just like, ah! And just exited out of it immediately. So anyways, a couple days go by and then we're out fucking playing in the street or whatever. And he gets he gets called to go home. Or my dad calls out to us because we were across the street from our house. My dad's like, boys, like, come over. And he's like, Lyndon, you got to go home. Like, your mom wants you. And then, so what it was is we didn't understand what fucking browser history was.
That was a thing back then? I didn't know it saved it.
And so my dad was like, what were you looking at? And I just like explained it to my dad. And at the time, like 9 years old, you kind of have a repulsive reaction to it. Kind of like, what the fuck is this? And so I was explaining it to my dad. And I just remember my dad like trying not to giggle. Like he was like laughing as I was explaining this bitch in like a She-Hulk pose. And yeah, man, it was so funny. So my dad was super fucking cool about it. My dad's a pretty chill dude. He was just like, hey, listen, what you saw, that's all fucking just normal shit. Like, you know, when you have questions about it, just come ask me. I'll let you know how it works.
That's incredible.
And I was like, yeah, perfect. And he was like, all right, buddy, you go on, go back to whatever you're fucking doing, you idiot. And that was it. He was like, and it was basically like, don't look that shit up on the internet. Like, if you have questions, like, just come ask me.
Yeah.
And so I fucking went on. My poor buddy, man, his mom fucking grounded him for a month.
For looking up.
A month. I wasn't even allowed in their house anymore.
Did that end your relationship with him? Your
no, it was pretty close too, actually. Within the next year, we would kind of never communicate again.
Wow.
Yeah. But that was the beginning of the end. I've never thought about that, actually.
That's fucked up. My first experience with any sort of porn would have been a Playboy magazine with Pamela Anderson.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, that was the first one that I remember. Like, I know my dad had a huge walk-in storage closet, and him and this other guy that would come over, they used to I'm pretty sure, smoke crack in there and sniff coke and fucking smoke weed and shit. But they did it in there to keep it away from, like, me and shit, so they wouldn't know. Yeah. But I went in there one time looking for, like, tools or something to go build a fort or whatever. And I remember finding a fucking bunch of Playboy magazines. And I remember very vividly, I remember it being Pamela Anderson on there.
No way.
And I didn't understand why she wasn't wearing clothes. And I'm just like, this is fucked up. They're just naked.
How old do you figure you were?
6 or 7, maybe even. Yeah. So, well, I lived in Nova Scotia before I'd moved to Ontario. So yeah, I moved when I was 8. So 6 or 7. Yeah.
Dude, I'm trying to find the fucking first Playboy I ever saw, the cover. I remember it so specifically.
Did you ever buy one? Have you ever paid for one? Like at
a Playboy?
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
I never have.
A girl I went to high school with, Stephanie Branton.
Yeah.
She was in Playboy. She was like a cover.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I know a girl that was too. Yeah. I told the story about it one time when I got a handy from her. And I cut it off because I thought she'd fucking try Me Tooing me before Me Too was a thing. And then she went on.
Yeah, you were telling me about her.
Well, she went on to be.
This is it. Here it is, man. That's the first Playboy I ever saw.
Wow, you found the actual cover. Wow.
Yeah, that like it's so. It's such a specific thing. And you know what's funny? I've never really paid attention to this. Miss Canada scores a knockout, the punch that cost her the crown. And that's what it must have been. That's why my dad probably bought it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
No, she was
Dude,
on, she was on the
dude,
cover of a
this
couple.
must have been a really good issue. I wish I had the mindset to read it. Listen to the articles. So Miss Canada scores a knockout, the punch that cost her the crown. Oh, this girl on the cover was fucking Miss Canada one year, and she knocked a bitch out. She punched a girl in the face, and it disqualified her from any kind of competition. Yeah, fucking good girl. Man, so this issue, King of the Hill goes to the mansion. So there was something about King of the Hill. 200, 20Q with Chris Rock. So 20 questions with Chris Rock. That would have been cool. Interview with Robert Downey Jr. It doesn't get any wilder than this.
No.
Oh, man. Alternative. That all looks like shit. College basketball. Sex stars in 1997. A short history of the bra and way more. Dude,
wow.
I bet that was a great issue.
Yeah.
I want to know what the date of this was. December 1997.
Did you have the Sun newspapers in Newfoundland when you were a kid?
No.
Like I don't like the Toronto.
Toronto, right?
Like yeah.
Yeah, we had the Telegram.
You didn't have like when you went into like a corner store. There wasn't
Sure,
like
you could have got it, but I don't remember. I remember my parents. You'd get the Telegram.
So like there's always several papers, right? But here in at least Canada,
no. So in Newfoundland, growing up as a kid,
that's just the only one.
was the Telegram.
Oh wow! In Ontario, we had like a local one. I think where I was like at least in
Sudbury, yeah.
I was in
Sudbury?
Parry Sound at the time.
Parry
It was
Sound,
called.
yeah.
There was I think it was called like the Beacon Star, and then there was a North Star. They were the same company. It was just depending on what day of the week because they didn't have a daily paper. It was a small town.
Yeah.
But the daily papers from out of Toronto was the Toronto Star. It was called.
Yeah.
And then there was one called the Toronto Sun. The Sun was like a national. I think you could probably get it all across the country.
Yeah.
But each like major market also had one. So I think there might have been a Montreal, but I think they just had the Alouette. I'm not sure.
Montreal Gazette.
Gazette, yeah. So I know there was a Calgary Sun, a Vancouver Sun, a Winnipeg Sun. Like I know there was several of that brand. So anyway, the Toronto one, it was known that every single day there was what was called a Sunshine Girl. And it was a little write up of a girl, like usually a young model that was not by any means a celebrity. Like we're talking like she'd be resorting to Instagram now.
Yeah. Dude, look at this.
Sometimes they were wearing bikinis, but sometimes they weren't. Like it was just like they were definitely sexual pictures, but modeling, but like PG or enough that they could get by in a newspaper.
For sure.
And every single kid throughout those years that newspaper existed, and the Sunshine Girl was a thing. It was on the back page. So all you had to do is flip the newspaper over in the stand by the checkout or whatever, flip it over, and then open up the very back, and boom, it was always right there, a write up on this girl. Oh, this is freaking Stephanie, 22. She enjoys playing tennis. She has a big dog named Beazle, like blah blah blah, like
big dick.
Yeah. So basically, it was just a write up of that.
Yeah.
And that's it. It didn't say like nothing else. It was the most useless full page in color every single day. And every single day, like on lunch breaks at school, we'd go out to get like chocolate bars or Reese's peanut butter cups or grab lunch or whatever. And we'd always stop in at like the pharmacy to grab like a Mountain Dew or whatever. Yeah. And we'd always, that's the first stop. You go in, you check out the check. That was just the thing back then.
Okay.
That never made it to Newfoundland, eh?
No, but
man.
I have one like this.
Cool.
So we had this thing in Newfoundland called the Newfoundland Buy and Sell.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I've seen those.
A weekly publication. Newfoundland Buy and Sell was a fucking huge thing in the late 90s, early 2000s. God, even right on till like fucking 08, 09.
So like when Kijiji and all that kind of knocked the buy and sell magazines away.
Yeah. So this buy and sell did well into the internet era.
Yeah.
It did well probably until like, man, I'm trying to remember because this story is all going to link together. It did well until like I was over 19.
Wow.
And it was still selling well.
Yeah, I remember that.
It probably wasn't until like 2012, 2013.
Oh, wow.
It really started plummeting. And they never adapted their model to online and a whole bunch of things. But where I'm going with this. So the buy and sell would come out, I feel like it was once a week or it might have only been once a month. I can't quite remember.
Yeah.
But they would have the fucking island girl. Ryan, my friend.
Oh my God.
These were not ladies of class or well-developed.
They weren't the typical Newfoundlander.
Oh. No, they were the typical Newfoundlander. That was the issue.
Oh.
They were gutter trash. Just pure bottom of the barrel gutter scum. And like you'd have bitches in there, like there was no Photoshop or editing put into these pictures.
Of course.
Like, dude, these pictures were of the same quality of fucking shaky phone footage of a guy fucking a girl at a party.
Oh my God.
Like, this is the quality level. And sometimes, so at first, when they first started doing the Island Girl, like, they were really into it. And it would be fairly good looking girls. And they would be, you know, out in nice settings. Like, maybe they'd go to, like, a nice nature walk area or some kind of cool picture. But by the end of it, they just started fucking green screening and everything. Or not even green screening, probably edited it in after, and it was fucking horrendous. So you'd have, like, fucking Janelle from, from fucking Spaniards Bay.
Yep.
Her fucking little flabby stretch mark belly, you'd be hanging over her fucking camo thong. She'd probably have, like, fucking triple D's just jammed in this little camo
Quick question.
bra.
How'd you know she was wearing a camo thong?
Wait,
I know.
because you can't see camo?
Yeah, that was anyway,
Okay.
That sucked.
Well, I wasn't sure if you meant because her fucking gut was hanging over it.
It didn't. It's a beer belly, all right.
She'd always have, like, these women would have, like, these nasty ass fucking tattoos, like, just shit, like maybe like fucking barbed wire around their bicep or like a fucking paw print on their titty, like
yeah,
Eve. But like
Eve,
just horribly
yo.
well done. Or horribly done. And man, it was so fucking bad, man. And these girls were as skanky as could be. Skanky, is that a word you guys use?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, so skank level a million. And they were also what one in Newfoundland would call a skeet.
So what is a skeet in Newfoundland?
So a skeet is someone who hangs out. Basically, they talk like this, like, what are you at, boys? Like,
What are you at, boys? Are you going to go down to the bar and get a beer, eh?
yeah. So I think they're the same. But ours have a Newfoundland accent. So, like, fucking boys, like, man, fucking Janelle was fucking talking shit, so I smacked her in her fucking mouth. Like, that's the kind of stuff they say. Or, like, buddy, like, let's go out to the village and fucking get some smokes and shit like that. So one time, I went to the fucking year-end Island Girl of the Year party.
Oh, boy.
This was in 2009 at Club One, where there was a selection of who was the best Island Girl of the Year. Dude, best night of my life. Like, I've never seen that many people that drunk ever in one place. And I was one of them.
Really?
I was fucked out of my mind. And, you had these girls, like, up parading on the stage in, like, shitty fucking Walmart bikinis. And, like, just in horrendous shape. Like, this was around Christmas time. So these bitches have been eating fucking salt meat and turkey for 4 days. Like, bloated the fuck. It was incredible.
Oh,
It was
God.
the absolute best, man. It was fucking lovely. And then, so you'd have this fucking sandwich between, like, snowmobile and ATV ads. It was incredible.
Dude, that's insane. So this was like before Tinder. And
Oh, well before.
before like Backpages or Leo's List.
Yeah,
or
like
anything
this
that-
Island Girl of the Year thing would have been like 2009. And dude, I remember it being like such a big deal too. Like they had these women signing autographs.
Oh my God.
Like signing centerfolds of themselves. And they were fucking trash.
So there's like a party promotion company that travels around to nightclubs and stuff. You ever heard of them? They're called Got Ass. Did you ever get that to
No,
Newfoundland?
but what was the other one guy did come Krill.
I don't know.
Krill was here.
I don't know.
And he came to Newfoundland for the opening of a club that at the time, can't remember what the fuck it was called, but there was like a big thing, like people didn't want him there because he would take these like really explicit photos of young girls.
Yeah.
Like not like illegal, like women who are allowed to be in a club. But let's be real, like I don't know about you, but I've just gone into my 30s. Like decisions I would have made at 25, I would not make those decisions today.
I'd make most of them.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or like
yeah.
how when you're in your early to mid 20s, even like into a little bit into your later 20s, like 27, it's easier for people to convince you of something. Like it's easier to, I don't want to say manipulate it because that's not the right word, but it's easier for someone to convince you that maybe something doesn't matter. Like you can, this young girl, you can take a photo and show your titties or like show your pussy or whatever. And like there's no ill effect. Like we're all so open and accepting of nudity now that it doesn't matter. But in reality, when that young person moves on to later in their life, like that could be something
Comes back. You know what's fucking weird?
And not that it would probably stop anybody from getting a job or anything anymore, because I think everybody is just kind of accepting of that shit now.
Yeah.
But it certainly wouldn't be comfortable. Like, I wouldn't want people to look at pictures of my dick.
I wouldn't mind it, but
I know you post nude photos on Facebook.
pretty much. You know what's fucking weird though? I never thought of this until you just started saying it. But like, Joe Francis figured it out. That's the guy that created Girls Gone Wild.
Yeah.
All right. He figured it out at the right time too. So almost all of those Girls Gone Wild videos during the heyday of its like popularity were on DVD.
Yeah.
They're not available on website because the clips weren't online.
Yeah.
So like all the girls that did that were loaded when they signed the release forms and everything, that would 100% be regretting it right now.
Yeah.
No one gets, how many fucking CD discs are they selling of each version? You know what I mean?
Dude,
each of those.
And I mean, like,
That's crazy. So they got away with it. These girls got to have that fun thing, that thing they get to always go back and talk about. They probably got a free DVD with part of the release form, like that gets sent to them or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure something along those lines might have been part of it. At least
got
the
to show their
one-on-one
titties
girls.
to a lot of people.
Yeah, like the girls that just flashed, no, they didn't get a free DVD by any means. But the girls that were back in the bus that were doing
Have
weird
you
and
ever
funny
watched like a full Girls Gone Wild DVD?
many of them. In fact, I subscribed to it one time.
I have some questions.
Sure.
I've never watched one.
Okay.
So I've seen like previews and stuff that would be on like Showcase and everything, because they used to do previews for Girls Gone Wild on Showcase on the commercial break of Red Shoe Diaries, almost knowing what their target audience was, like young men who just want to jerk off to some titties. So like on a Girls Gone Wild DVD, are you still just seeing titties?
No, there's lots more. In fact, while you were talking, I ran away and I grabbed the only two that I still have because I gave them all away.
So are they like kind of full on? Oh, whoa! So it's pussy.
Yeah, so obviously the covers are not, like they're censored. Like there's the big stars over top of the nipples and the vajayjays and all that. But the videos themselves are 100% not censored.
Whoa!
Yeah, and they get like hardcore. Like it's always it's Girls Gone Wild, so there's never a dude involved. I don't even know if there's sex toys. Like I don't think there's anything ever other.
So it's like mainly just them playing with their pussy and stuff.
Sometimes there's girl on girl, like two random friends.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
yeah. I see this.
Some of the most interesting ones are the ones where it's like two girls that are so there's a bus, like it's a tour bus. You know,
Yeah.
picture like an RV, right, with Girls Gone Wild written on the side of it. They pull up to a hot nightclub. They like get out the cameras and all this shit, and they invite these girls on. And some of the coolest dynamics are when they invite like freaking Megan from Buffalo and freaking, I don't know, some girl from Ithaca, like Stacy from Ithaca and Megan from Buffalo. They're both at the same club, and they invite them onto a bus. They've never met. They're meeting for the first time, and you can hear the guy on the other side of the production, like the camera guy. He's like, "So, ladies, tell me, have you ever met?" "No, we just met right now." He's like, "Oh, well, what do you think of Stacy?" And then, "Oh, well, she's really pretty. I really like this tube top." "Yeah, you should pull it down and see what she's got underneath it." And then they're awkward, but they don't know how to say no. So it's like you're feeling really like, in today's day and age, big red flag. But 15 years ago, you're like, whoa, like, is she okay with this? Like, she doesn't know how to say no. Like she's in a position where the camera's on. You know, she doesn't know how to say no right now. And then the other girl's like, okay, and just pulls her shirt down, and all of a sudden, yeah, Cynthia, you should give Stacy a kiss. And all of a sudden, like, they start making out.
Wait, so is this what these are? It's like...
So, like, sometimes it's a little bit of coercion or whatever. Coercion?
Yeah, sometimes the girls just go.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, so what did you want to do? And she's like, I always just wanted to be on one of these. This is so exciting. And he's like, oh, cool. And she'll just randomly, some girls will just start, like, taking their clothes off and fingering themselves. Makes no sense. Sometimes it'll be like the
That's
one
fair.
where it's like, yeah, okay, you should give Stacy a kiss. And then all of a sudden they'll kiss. The cameraman won't say anything. And somehow this one, just give her a kiss, turns into them eating each other out and shit.
Dude.
And it's like, it's fucking weird, man. But you know what's crazy? So in the United States, in most states, I think, the non-dry ones, I guess, so like a lot of cities, you don't have, I know everyone knows you gotta be 21 to drink, but you don't have to be 21 to go to a club. You only have to be 18 in a lot of places.
Yeah, you get a different wristband.
Exactly. Those girls with the wristbands are clearly still drunk, underage, but still under drinking age, I should say.
I know, man.
But
That's
18.
such a thing there. Like,
And how many of them had a fake ID? Did this girl have a fake? Is she actually 16?
you know what? Dude, that was also a thing in Toronto, wasn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That you could go into a club underage, but you got a specific wristband.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I remember that. But all the same though, like going to a club in Toronto, you'd probably be fucking 18 anyways.
A lot of them, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the fun ones.
Dude, that's so interesting. Man, because like I see, we have Girls Gone Wild, Sex Starved College Girls, Volume 2, and Volume 8. You know, a real collector of the pieces.
So I subscribed and I just got them every month. So I had all the in-betweens too.
Where did all the other ones go?
I gave them out to friends and stuff.
Oh, I'm probably going to borrow one of these.
Sure, man.
I'm very curious.
What's inside them? Is it the proper disc?
Yeah, Volume 2. Volume 8.
Oh, cool. I kept them in good shape.
And, like, okay, yeah, so this girl, like, how do you think, have you watched this recently?
No, dude, I haven't watched any of these. Yeah, and let me take a guess that literally the last time I would have watched them would have been probably, no exaggerating, 2009 or 8.
No way.
Yeah.
So like
it's
this
been a long
at one
time.
point ended up with this girl straddling this other girl's face.
Yep.
And
so that example, they may have known each other. I don't remember at all. But
and like that's an aggressive sexual position.
Oh yeah.
Like that girl. The girl on bottom, essentially, if the listeners want to imagine this, she has her nose up the girl on top's asshole.
Yep.
Essentially.
So out of all of the ones I've ever seen, none of them have ever done that sort of stuff together.
Okay.
So like, I'm not saying that doesn't happen. The picture's there. It's going to happen on that DVD.
Yeah.
But they don't have a history of this. Like, so if they're not two randoms that just the producer introduces, they are sometimes like best friend. Oh no, she's my best friend or whatever. Or no, she's my sister-in-law, things like that.
And they just develop romance.
And then, but they're like, that's what I mean. It's super weird because they're actually clearly fucking hammered. You can tell by like the absurd amounts of like cracked eyeliner that's fucking faded off because of the tequila shots and shit, you know?
Dude, can I read you the back of this?
Please.
All right, I'm going to do it with my best Girls Gone Wild voice.
All right.
They're real. They're horny. They're sex-starved college girls ready to do some exploring.
Who?
Lucky for you, the first thing they explore is usually each other.
Oh my God.
Girls Gone Wild has traveled from campus to campus, coast to coast to find out what gets young co-eds hot and what makes them want to hook up. You'll meet Jessica and Megan, who prove that they're not that innocent when they rip off each other's Catholic school girl clothing.
Yo, I don't remember that. I don't remember this at all.
And Megan spanks and bangs Jessica to orgasm. And there's their fucking wording is not great here. I mean,
that's not.
Feel like they could have hired someone a little bit better.
Nobody's buying it for the cover art.
And there's Vanessa, a gorgeous 19-year-old blonde who lays herself down in the tub and lets the warm, rushing water from the faucet and her fingers.
I do remember her. I remember. I don't remember the name.
Very sexy.
Oh, she's the only shower one I've ever seen, and yeah, she looks
looks
uncomfortable. Like the weird way she's twisted at the bottom of the shower. No,
Yeah.
she's not in a tub. She's in like a stand-up shower. If it's the one I'm thinking
Is
of.
it the young lady there on bottom?
Let me see here. I think it
Or
might
is
be.
it this? Man, but this is another tub bitch.
No, that tub bitch ain't this tub bitch. So that was your audition?
Wait, I need to finish reading. I
All
was
right.
almost done. You can do volume 8. I'm doing volume 2.
Okay.
And don't miss 18-year-old contortionist Brittany put her legs behind her head while her friend Crystal orally pleasures her.
Her friend.
Yeah.
I love it.
Girls Gone Wild. Sex-starved college girls volume 2. It's real, raw, and uncensored. All right,
Unbelievable.
you do volume 8.
So that was your audition.
Yeah.
This is all.
Do you think we'll
drunky
get the
poos.
job? Let's start our own Girls Gone Wild and only sell it on Blu-ray.
On OnlyFans.
Yeah! No, let's do a fucking dead format. Let's only sell it on HD.
Yes. Now available on HD. It's gotta say that on every.
Yeah,
every,
but do you
available on
remember
HD.
like when there was Blu-rays?
Yeah.
And HD. What were they? Were they just called HD?
I don't know.
Do you remember they used to have like the red case instead of a blue case?
Yeah.
And Xbox or Microsoft got really big into that market for a bit. Give me your audition.
All right. They were the girls next door until they went to college. Now they're girls gone wild. The hottest sex-starved college girls come eavesdrop on campus dorms from Miami to LA as we look for the very hottest young co-eds who will try almost anything once. From innocent-looking Lauren, who doesn't need underwear. Ooh, I'm into Lauren with no underwear.
Oh, Lauren.
Or much she doesn't need underwear, guys, or much convincing to take off her clothes to get busy. To Kelly and Jamie, who get picked up in the club and they really show their stuff in the hotel room.
keep the same enthusiasm, dude. You got this.
Kelly thinks Jamie's breasts totally rock, so she's gotta touch them. Plus, you'll see luscious brunette Jennifer from Connecticut, who does get her dirty on watching others get down and dirty. Watch her fantasize about threesomes as she explores herself in a furious finish in the bathtub. Raw, real, and totally uncensored. Girls going completely wild. This is Sex-Starved College Girls, Volume 8.
Dude, what's your radio name?
My radio name?
Yeah. Let's come up with your radio name.
I don't know.
It can't be Drunk Ryan. It's not family friendly enough.
I don't know, but let me tell you, man, I need something to lather up my throat after that.
Righteous Ryan.
Righteous Ryan.
Dude, you have the best radio voice. Dude, can I feed you a couple of lines?
Feed him.
Sunday, Monster Truck Madness, only at the Forum this Sunday.
Sunday, Monster Truck Madness, only at the Forum this Sunday.
Oh, God. What a new fun game we've discovered. This is fucking incredible.
I've never done this before.
Dude, why aren't you doing radio ads?
I don't know, man.
Dude, I didn't know you had such a good fucking Monster Truck radio voice.
I'm just finding this out right now.
Dude, you've missed out on a fucking wonderful career opportunity.
My calling, all I got to do is keep some honey by my desk and a microphone. It's good.
Dude, maybe this is it. Maybe this is how we make it, is we just switch you from Drunk Ryan to Righteous Ryan.
What do you think about that, Righteous Ryan? I think that's a great idea. Totally rock and roll.
Oh, fucking shit, man. Dude, that's so fucking clutch. You have such a good radio voice.
So do I get the audition?
We should.
I got the job.
You got
Yes.
the job, bro. Dude, we should cut a fucking promo for the podcast with just you doing that fucking voice. Tuesday.
You're talking tacos, I'm talking Tuesday. It's Dudes Talking Shit with Travis and Ryan. Ryan. I'm sweating right now.
Oh my god, dude, that's so fucking funny.
I am. How fat pink is my face?
Oh fuck, man. How did that come about? Do you think? Like, at what point did the fucking radio voice like really start to evolve?
I don't know, but it got to that point, and it's never needed to get better.
Do you think you can do like a really deep voice for like a thriller movie? I'll give you a line. So, what's wrong with your toe?
What do you mean?
Why is your fucking toe so far apart from your big toe?
I got a gap.
Dude, holy shit.
Fuck off. Now I'm going to wear socks around you. What the fuck?
Whoa!
Is this
your
Ryan's
feet are
toe diaries or
fucked up.
something? What is this?
She thought she was alone, but he was waiting right there.
She thought she was alone. No, wait.
She.
I'm going to clear my throat. She thought she was alone, but he was standing right there in the wings.
Oh, God, I'm so intrigued. Oh, was he like hiding in a closet, do you think?
Hiding in the closet was drunk Ryan.
Oh, God. With some duct tape.
With 2 rolls of duct tape.
Dude, man, radio fucking or doing trailers, that could be a serious career for you.
Oh my God, my mouth is fully like sore. My
Do you
throat's
think
sore.
those guys who do that have to like, do you think they're like constantly drinking like tea with honey and stuff? Like they're having to do a lot of work to maintain
Probably.
their voice?
Think about the EA guy. EA Sports. It's in the game. Like that guy?
Yeah, but he probably has only had to cut that once and it's done forever.
Yeah. You know what? They've never had to make it in higher quality.
No.
In fact, for nostalgia purposes, they probably intentionally don't.
Yeah, they just leave it the way it is. Man, how long has that been the beginning of fucking EA games?
Well, I remember playing EA. No, that was that was.
I remember.
Remember the original hockey, the best hockey game ever? Blades of Steel? Blades of Steel. Swing!
I never played that one.
No, that was, I think, NES.
The first one I remember with the EA Sports it's in the game is either NHL 99 or 2000, whichever one had Joe Sakic on the cover.
I don't remember.
It was one of the two.
I don't know. Do you want to get into something a little spicy to finish this off?
Yeah, sure.
On a bad note? Well, maybe a good note. It's not going to be bad. I said that wrong. It's just a different note, a more serious note.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, we've said it before on here. You know me. I'm a fan of Big Brother.
Big Brother,
like the show, like the reality show. Okay. I don't care for Survivor. Like I just somehow Big Brother hooked me in years ago. It's now it's routine. All right. So they're on CBS. Mm-hmm. CBS has said this week that moving forward, 50% of all their cast members, like when I say like the people cast, like the fucking competitors or whatever.
Are we talking about Big Brother or Survivor?
Big Brother and Survivor.
Okay.
50% of all cast members on Survivor or Big Brother, both, will be people of color moving forward.
That's a representation of the population? No, not really. Not
So
in
here's
North
the thing, though. That's basically the way I take that is you're saying you're gonna give people an opportunity that a white person can't have because you're born brown or black.
Yeah. Wait.
So
okay. Wait. Let's look at this statistically first.
Hold on.
Most importantly.
No, but my immediate thought process is it's not, people aren't just picked. They're not hand-picked. They audition for it, usually with tapes, personalities. They do interviews. Like they figure people out. You know what I mean? They're qualified. And quite frankly, they've got to have some sort of financial stability as well, because when they're away filming this show, their mortgages still got to get paid and all this. Like their bills, their lives got to keep going. They've got to have a job that's welcoming to them when they come back.
Okay, I have what's probably going to be an unpopular opinion.
Okay.
So this is not updated information. So I'm just going to read you what I Googled. So I said percentage of people who are a visible minority in the USA.
Yeah.
So that would be Asian, Black, Brown, Latino, like basically anything.
I think brown is Latino, isn't it?
No, brown would be Indian in my opinion.
I think Mexicans call themselves brown.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess Cape Alaska is brown pied.
Yeah, right.
But anyways, that's what I mean. Like visible minorities, which I think racially is a very easy thing right now for us to.
So do those three things make up more than 50% of the population?
I'm going to read you some statistics.
All right.
This was an increase from 2011 census when visible minorities. Oh fuck! This is not a full fucking thing. All right, just talk amongst yourself for a minute.
So my thought process is you're taking away potential opportunities from someone else, regardless of their color, and you're picking someone specifically because they are not white.
Yeah, there is
like, don't get me
issues
wrong
with that. Okay, but on a fucking TV show, who cares?
That's what I mean.
On a reality TV show.
It's fucking garbage. It's fucking garbage because there's people that are more qualified, would be better for camera, better for production, might be better competitors, might be better personalities and all this. And you're taking away from isn't that like at the point where it's like reverse racism now? Like, is that not what that is?
No,
like you're saying
reverse racism isn't a thing.
It is in this effect.
But we've had this conversation on here. It's like at no point, well, like we've even joked about it. Like white people have always been in control of the situation, right?
Sure, as a mass, but we're not talking about masses where we're talking about just a TV show. Like, listen, first of all, I have no problem with the fact that there's colored people on there. Like that does yeah. I don't give a fucking rat's ass what color you are. It's the entertainment value that I want. All right? I have a problem with them saying they're only going to cast 50% of the cast, the competitors, the competition as white people. So you're saying if there's 20 people to start, only 10 of them will be white. And no matter how good those 10 people are, if there's the most amazing 11th person, it still doesn't matter. They're being told, no, sorry, you can't have this opportunity of a lifetime, even though you've earned it in every respect because you're born with this color skin. You're doing the same thing as basically you're saying black people can't do this because of the color of their skin. Now you're saying it to white people. It's not making the issue better. It's about being the most qualified person for the job.
They're not saying that white people can't do it because of the color of their skin. They're saying we're only doing this amount of white people.
Right. So if 100,000 people audition, 80,000 of them are white. There wouldn't be that many people. Let's go on a smaller scale just to make life easier. If 1,000 people audition to be on on Survivor, and 800 of them are white, now you're making all those 10 white positions. They have way more competition.
Okay, I have actual.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I do. I do see what you're saying, but. So in the United States, 73% of the population as of 2017 is white. But non-Hispanic whites, so they count Hispanic people as white.
Okay.
Make up 60.7% of the population. So I think what they're saying isn't completely out of line. Sure. Saying 50% is white, 50% are people of color. Like 60-40 is the actual number.
Sure, yeah, okay.
So 50-50 is really not like that far out, but I do also get what you're saying, that it should be just whoever is the best. Yeah, whoever's going to be the funniest, the most entertaining, fill a certain role of the show. But you know what? In all honesty, even if they do it 50-50 like that, so first of all, it's primarily going to be white people.
Yep.
Because you're going to have black, brown, Asian. Mixed into their 50%. But, I mean, it's pretty hard to argue that out of all the people who are going to audition for Big Brother, how many people go on the show?
20 to or so.
Okay.
Up to 20. Usually to like 18.
So let's say
16 to 18. I think they did 21. So anyway,
sure. So let's call it 20 for, like you said, for a nice even number. So the 10 people of color, like, there are 10 people of color or 10 people of visible minority that are equally as good as the 10 best other white people. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't think it's that big a deal. Like, I'm not that shook over it. I think just coming out and fucking saying it's weird.
That's what I mean. It's like, it rubbed me the wrong way. Like, If it's something that just happens behind the scenes, I don't
Yeah.
know if that's any better necessarily, but like,
But at the end of the day, so if the show's still good and it's half white people, half people of color, then who cares?
yeah, no,
As long as
exactly.
the show's good.
Yeah, that's all that matters. But I'm just thinking of like the fact that I just don't like the fact that you're saying, nope, this group is filled, you can't do it.
Yeah,
It's
we're
like,
looking at it by race.
and so I know this is getting more into like the actual dynamics of the show, which I didn't want it to necessarily be about. But one thing I can tell you that happens every single season, black people that are on it, even though it's not a large amount of them, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
they always end up being just a group together. Oh, we're black. We got to do this. We got to stick together and beat it for them. So they immediately gravitate towards each other. And also, women always go together, even though it's usually 50-50 men and women.
Yeah.
They always say, all the women try to group together and make one big thing.
What if it's a black lady? Does she choose to be?
She ends up being in both and ends up being the big. It always fucking ends up being the big outcast.
Shit.
Exactly. She ends up being with the women, but her number one is with the blacks. So she ends up. It always ends up.
It's kind of like jail.
Yeah. She always ends up like talking, being in with this clique, but then blabbing to this clique. Ends up getting outcast from that one, and now she's stuck with this one, and they get all plucked off.
Dude,
It happens every single time.
Man.
It's fucking.
those are some prison dynamics. Do you know what? And I've been like kind of tiptoeing around bringing this up with you because I feel like it's going to be a trigger for you.
Lay it on.
So like I've been looking at like job markets and stuff and just out of curiosity seeing what exists in the world. And there's been some positions posted with the Canadian Coast Guard that, and before I say this specifically, like I should really reread it and make sure like I'm properly digesting the information, but I've read it a couple of times. That it says the position is for Indigenous people only. And from what I could understand and gather about the position, if it was a position that was like based around Indigenous people, if it was like, hey, this is a Coast Guard position that has specifically to do with Indigenous communities,
Yeah.
and they were like, we want an Indigenous person to do this job,
Sure.
you'd be like, get it, man.
But it's not worded that well, so it makes it look like it's.
And it was actually for an inventory clerk position. And that's what was like kind of confusing for me.
That's probably not a great job.
No, it's not like an ideal job.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, that's so strange that in a government position, and again, it's kind of like the thing you were saying with this, like if they just, as Big Brother or whoever, just went and selected their cast and selected it however they wanted to select it and said, this is the cast.
Yeah.
Say nothing about race, say nothing about gender, say nothing about sexual identity. Just this is the people this year. Enjoy. It's gonna be a fun show.
Right.
Like if you want to do it, just like I think that's the issue we're in right now, man. Is like people just want to be better than other people all the time, and it's coming down into companies as well, and even government positions, I guess, where they're like, oh, we're only hiring black people. We're only hiring Indigenous people. It's like, if you want to do that and that's your prerogative and you feel that's what's going to best suit that fucking role, then do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Like, don't put it out there for people to fucking latch on to it. Like, just move on.
It's the same with other things too. Like when there's like certain amount of people in the workplace have to be a color.
Yeah.
Or a different sex or gender or whatever. Like I actually am very good friends with a female who graduated university from mining engineering.
Yeah.
Got offered a job right away, even though some other people in her class that she has flat out in her words said, I didn't deserve that job. So-and-so deserved it more than me, but I got it strictly because I'm a woman. And they wanted to have a woman working there so they could say they had a woman working there.
Yeah.
That's when like even like she said like this isn't fair, like I shouldn't be given this like opportunity in my hometown at a mine. You know, mining engineers never end up in their hometown.
For sometimes too, I mean, maybe she outperformed in the interview, maybe on paper she wasn't the best candidate, but maybe in the interview, you know how it is. Like sometimes when you're doing an interview, like on paper you have better candidates, but then when you actually sit and talk with this person, you're like, oh, you're just like emotionally and mentally a better fit for this team. Like you're going to make more sense in what we're trying to do. Like you're bringing the attitude that we want. And maybe they looked at someone like her, who, by the sounds of it, just from what you're describing, she seems like someone who's with the attitude of like consistent improvement, that like I'm not good enough and I need to be better. And people like that. Like you like that.
They're definitely that 100% is her personality. Like no matter what she does, she is a bit of a perfectionist. That she always thinks that could have been better. Yeah. So there might be some of that. I don't know. I don't know mining engineering either. I don't know the course details, what it needs, what the position requires, and so on and so forth. But I don't know. I saw that it was a news release that CBS did. It popped up in like Reddit for me and as a recommended thing, which is weird. Yeah. And I don't know. It kind of struck me just a little fucky that they would go out of their way and say that. Like I said, I genuinely don't care if the cast gets put on and 50% of them are a different color. I really don't care. I don't at all. But the fact that you're going out of your way to make sure that it's that way is like I get it. Part of the casting is the personalities that clash, personalities you think might gel, personalities that make good for TV. Yeah. Like that's part of it. But it should be just that. It shouldn't have anything to do with how much lighting is required on them. You know what I mean? Yeah, it shouldn't be about that. It should just be about like what the show is. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't mean to sour things up, but I just wanted to get someone else's take. I don't think that's sour, man. I think that's like a perfectly healthy, constructive, like just view of it. I think like the point that's scary if we ever got stuck in is if we couldn't just have a conversation like that. I don't feel we're being disrespectful to anybody. No. We're just questioning facts. Like, we're just questioning, like, what's happening. You can question anything. And I think me and you always have the mindset. And I know, like, you love when I try and tell you you're wrong about something and then you just come up with bullshit facts. But in reality, we are very open to, like, people expressing a different opinion to us and changing our minds. Like, that's fine. Like, just fucking have the conversations. No big deal. Yeah, it's probably what he said. Yeah. Bitches. Anyway, we talked about Girls Gone Wild. We talked about Blacks on Big Brother. We talked about fucking loads of shit. Sunday Night Sex Show. What else are we talking about today? Porn. Lots of porn. Yeah. Dude. Porn's easy to fucking talk about. 100%. We're going to get to watching some fights. Yeah. Cool. Let's do it. All right. Do you have anything else to say today? No. Okay. Well, that's been Dudes Talking Shit episode 28. Remember, you can find us on Instagram at Dudes Talking Shit. You can find Ryan on Instagram at Drunk Ryan. You can find Travis on Instagram at TFan23. Send them your dick pics. Later, shitheads.